pull up a chair with me and let's slow this down just for a moment. Today I want to talk about something that it looks like calm, but it isn't always calm. What if being good, it wasn't about a character? What if it was about approval? What if the reason that you learned to stay steady was because steadiness kept you safe? That's something that I've been thinking about. It's been going through my mind. Have you ever replayed a conversation, one later on in the evening? It's gone over and over in your mind, and you wondered if you said, whether you said too much, or if you sounded too strong. Have you ever softened an opinion just to keep the atmosphere comfortable? Maybe you've dressed a certain way as well because, well, it would cause less comment. Or you've chosen silence because it felt easier. I used to tell myself that that was maturity. I used to tell myself that I was calm, I was balanced, I was reasonable. But, you know, looking back, I realise now that something quietly important is I didn't just learn to be calm, I learned to be approved of. Approved of. And those two things, they can look almost identical. You know, from the outside looking in, you think, oh yeah, they're the same. When I was younger, being good, it didn't simply mean that I was behaving well. It meant being agreeable. It meant not standing out too sharply and not attracting criticism and not stepping outside invisible lines. There were comparisons, yes, quite measured, nothing dramatic, just enough to feel the pressure, to stay acceptable. So I adjusted my tone, I adjusted my reactions, sometimes even how I presented myself. And because I was composed, People assumed that I was calm. But composure isn't always peace. Sometimes it's protection. When approval equals safety, your nervous system, well, it learns to scan. It just scans. You check faces. You anticipate reactions. And you explain yourself. You explain yourself before anyone asks. You smooth over tension very quickly. You apologise, even when it's not necessary. You call it being reasonable. Many women, especially in midlife, well, they describe themselves as calm. Oh, I'm a lot calmer now. But underneath that calm, there can be tension. Very supple tension. The kind that quietly asks, was that okay? Am I still acceptable? Did I handle that correctly? Should I have done it differently? Well, that isn't always peace. That's performance. As I've grown older, something has shifted. Yeah, just shifted. Not dramatically, just a quiet shift. I began to realise that nothing was ever wrong with me. I realised that I wasn't too much and I wasn't lacking. I wasn't difficult. I had simply learnt that approval meant security. And when that belief runs deep, really deep, you carry it. You carry it everywhere. You carry it into friendships and into work, into marriage. You become the steady one. But steadiness, that depends on approval. It isn't true calm, is it? It's control. Control of perception. Control of atmosphere. Control of how you've received. And when you reflect, real calm feels different. Real calm can tolerate misunderstandings. It doesn't rush to tidy up the air. No. It doesn't shrink to stay acceptable. It stays steady. It stays steady even when someone disagrees. And that steadiness, it doesn't need applause. It requires self-trust. Midlife for many women is when that shift finally happens. You stop scanning. You stop performing. And you start standing. Yeah. You stand in your own power. You do, and it feels good. So if this resonated with you, I genuinely would love to hear your thoughts. Just leave a comment and let me know. See, these conversations, they grow, especially when more women share. They share their experiences, their life experiences. And if you found value here today, then you can support me by liking, sharing, and even subscribing. That would be amazing. And if you press the bell notification, then that will always notify you when the next video is coming out, or it's come out, when the conversation is ready. Yeah. So, look forward. I'll see you next time at the kitchen table.